And we're back. DuckTalks, back in the house, ready to talk about some ducks. So this is the week of Wednesday, February the 14th. This is the podcast known as DuckTalks, where we talk about all things DuckTales, Disney afternoon, video games, television shows, when they're not on hiatus, old television shows that we enjoyed watching as kids and still enjoy as adults and parents, and anything that we can find relevant to those things. I'm one of your hosts. My name's Mitch, and joining me is Pirate Steven.
Ahoy there. I'm looking forward to talking more DuckTales, as there's no show to talk about, but we always seem to come up with enough content for a show, so let's do this.
Yeah, we've been away for a little while. I've had a little bit of illness. You might hear that in my voice a little bit. Just dealing with that flu, man. It's been rough. But, getting back there, my voice started coming back, and we started trying to figure out when we're going to do this. Because, honestly, even though we're talking about a show that's been on hiatus for 2 months, other than a little break in December. Actually, wow, we might be past 2 months. But other than that, we've got a lot to talk about.
Man, I feel like we missed our window. I mean, we could have done... Our episode this week could have been the top 5 DuckTales episodes where a character had the flu or something.
That could be a good thing for us to research and do a show on.
There you go. I mean,
we're looking for content.
It's a popular, not popular, no one wants it, but it's a hot topic this season. So flu season's nasty. I hope our listeners don't have to go through it, and I hope we all survive it. So.
Yeah, well, I'm glad my kids and my wife haven't had it, even though I brought it in the house, apparently. But, our school systems were closed for about half of the week last week, so it's pretty bad where I am. But let's take a look at some stuff going on around DuckTales. And we're going to start like we usually start, with merchandise. We still don't have a name for this segment. So we're going to put that out there again. If anyone has any suggestions of what we should call our segment where we talk about merchandise. Now, to give you some ideas, we typically talk about Funko Pops, anything Funko coming out with about DuckTales or any of the Disney afternoon, which I may be close to completing my pop collection, by the way.
Finally. What are you missing?
Magica.
Hey, I'm really glad you got Magica is great. You need to get that while she's available. But I'm glad you got the Scrooge McDuck swimming in money, because there's that rumored 10-inch pop of that coming out eventually. So it'd be cool that you have the mystery mini and they have the regular Hot Topic exclusive, and now you'll have the 10-inch probably, because I'll probably make you buy it. So you're making a very good argument for why I should have that 10-inch pop. I like this. I'm taking that down. Yeah. But we're going back to the segment. It'd be fun. What if we did we got duck merch. Woohoo.
Oh, well, I've got it recorded. I'll just use that from now on.
Right?
But I need your permission.
Yeah, I'll sign whatever you need. It's fine.
But yeah, we like to talk about the Funko line of action figures and figurines. Is that what they are? Are they statues?
Yeah, speaking of, they finally, the place I ordered my action figures, that series from, finally shipped. So I should have those by the next episode, so I can do a kind of review and talk about what I think of the quality and what they sent. So, and I'll take pictures and I'll post it on our social feeds.
Oh, good. Okay. So hopefully we'll have that for next week. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, and I hope other people are buying that too besides me, because, they're, we need Series 2 and such. So go get them.
Yeah, I have my Darkwing. I have him prominently displayed in my living room. I think my wife hasn't noticed him yet.
Yeah, I feel like maybe, I don't know if it's because of the chase with Negatron, but that is the one. Every store that I know that sells those, I've seen them at GameStop and ThinkGeek and Hot Topics and Box Lunch and such. But I rarely see a Darkwing Duck in there. I usually see Scrooge McDuck, Baloo, and the Chippendale Rescue Rangers. And rarely will I see a Darkwing. I don't know if that's because there was a chase and people would order Darkwing by the case so that they can get more chases to sell for their businesses. But yeah, that's probably what happened because I never see him around.
Yeah, I've actually heard that from some people on social media who said that they, like you, they ordered a box in order to get all of them, and they keep getting whoever they purchased from keep telling them that we'll get it. It's just taking a little bit longer, and it sounds like that might be the cause.
And people could luck out and just order one Darkwing and get the chase. So who knows?
Somebody did that. One of the Darkwing guys. Silvani got it. He said that he's never been more disappointed to get a chase because he wanted the original. So speaking of Darkwing, the first merchandise that we have to talk about is from the Disney parks. You sent this to me. I guess it's been a couple of weeks now, but there's a new pin, the Disney pins. Apparently this is a big deal with Disney parks guests. People like to collect these pins. You know a little more about this?
They love pins. I have a lot of pins from they really the Disney pin craze started in 1999, 2000 era, right around the millennium. And they really took off and people buy them insanely crazy. And I have a bunch and then I just have them and they're just sitting there and I don't know what to do with any of them. But I don't want to get into more pins, but there was an awesome Darkwing Duck pin that was released at Disneyland. I went to try to see if they had it at Walt Disney World, but it hasn't got here yet.
Yes.
So I know, right? It might be here by the time you come down and visit.
That's what I'm hoping for.
But definitely it's at Disneyland. It's an open edition pin and has Darkwing on it. It looks awesome. I'll get it when it comes available at the parks at Walt Disney World. But
yeah, so just kind of describe it. I have it in front of me. It is that classic image of Darkwing holding up his fist under the cape, with his hat, and behind him there's a little bit of fog, and then the bridge to St. Canard, which is of course where his secret hideout is.
Yeah, and you have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm doing this from memory. No, I'm not doing it from memory because Google's here, and this exact pin image looks like it was taken from Silvani's Darkwing Duck #1 picture from when the Boom days when that looks like the exact image from one of their #1 comics.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? So from someone who enjoys drawing the characters, and James Silvani, his take on Darkwing is one of my favorites. Looking at it between the hat and those cheeks, yes, I would say that's correct. The hat's the biggest giveaway because he draws the hat kind of unique.
Yeah, so we'll definitely add that to the collection. There's only been a couple of Darkwing Duck pins. I don't have any of them. But there's only been a couple, and they're insanely popular on the eBay. So I would definitely get those if anybody's at the parks. Pick it up.
Any idea on the price points of these? Is it like $14.95 or something like that?
Oh, I wouldn't. Not for that. This is an open edition pin.
Okay.
So it varies. My guess it's going to be $8.99 or $9.99, $12.99 at the most, but
sold.
Probably a $9.99 pin.
Okay. I was a little worried about how much it might be, mainly because I've looked at the other pins.
Limited edition pins can get crazy. Don't get crazy, but so this is an open edition one, so I believe we'll be okay.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so a little more DuckTales oriented, at least DuckTales 2017. You found this as well. On Amazon, they've got a listing for DuckTales Adventures Guide explores skills and outdoor activities for daring, and it cuts off the name there, but I imagine it says kids.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so it's a hardcover. Comes out October 2nd, so got a little bit of time, but I really like this description. This is something that I'm definitely going to pick up for my girls, and we're going to have a lot of fun with. It says interesting. Timed to launch with the second season of the hit new animated Disney series DuckTales.
Whoa.
Okay, so before the date, I actually looked right before we were already on the phone together, but before we started recording to get the date for this release. So that release has just come out on Amazon as October 2nd, and this says second season of DuckTales 2017 will start airing around October 2nd. That's very interesting. Okay, this fun, fully illustrated guide shows kids how to explore, play, and create in new and exciting ways. Inside, they'll find guidelines for writing secret codes, taking fingerprints, building a spyglass, blending into the shadows, identifying animal tracks, building go-kart. There's all kinds of stuff listed here. And it says, with the help of Uncle Scrooge and his adventurous nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, as well as Webby, Vanderquack, and Launchpad McQuack. So there's dozens... It says dozens of fun activities and challenges to play with friends. So it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that definitely an activity book for the kids. So might have to pick up that one as well. So I'm a really big fan of the Mickey Mouse, the new style cartoon shorts. Have you been watching those?
You know, I've watched a lot of them on they have an app on the Apple TV, and so I've watched a lot of them, but I'm not current with them.
Yeah, so I don't know when they started featuring, but Scrooge McDuck is in the last one that I saw. It's called Year of the Dog, so that's a Chinese New Year, which is happening now, and it's all about Pluto, and Pluto's hungry, and he wants to eat all the Chinese food. But Scrooge McDuck makes an appearance because he comes to Mickey's big Chinese New Year party. But I just thought, since it was duck-worthy to mention that he's in that episode. He doesn't say anything or do anything, but he's there.
Yeah, he's been in a few episodes. I know the triplets were in the Halloween special. And I think Scrooge, which would be fitting, was in the Christmas special. And I believe those are in a DVD together. But yeah, he's been in a few of those. I'll have to check that out. That app was a lot of fun in the beginning, but I feel like it's not being updated very frequently.
They have Disney Now as their new app for Disney XD, so I don't know, maybe it's on there.
Probably. We cut the cord and switched to Sling. And Sling those shorts are kind of iffy. I don't always get them. So, and then the Disney Now app doesn't recognize Sling yet. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's the disadvantage to cutting the cord. But I do have Disney XD.
That's what matters.
And I pay like $35 a month.
Channel.
So, okay. That's it for merchandise. There's not a lot out there that we haven't already talked about.
I do have something.
Oh, you do have something.
I was just waiting for you to say there's nothing else. I was just saying that because it's been a while since our last episode, that I finally got a chance to read through the Treasure Trove.
Oh, nice.
Trade paperback. Great value. You can get it on Amazon or your local stores. But I really enjoyed it. It was issues 0, 1, and 2, and it's great. And I can't wait for the next trade paperback so I can catch up.
That should be out soon. At this point, they're pretty caught up, so I can't imagine it would be much longer before that. I think it's like Masks and Mallards or something like that was the title.
Yeah, I believe it. I think it was coming out in April or May, but.
Okay.
I thought the stories were really well written, and I was excited to see that's like your first taste of Della Duck in those episodes. So those issues, so it was great.
Yeah, that has one issue with Della, or does it have two? I think it's just one. I mean, because there's two stories.
There's two adventures that she's in.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get 2 stories per comic, 3 comics. So there's one Della issue. So there's more to come, and it's really good. You're right.
Yeah, I really enjoy these DuckTales comics. It's a good void to fill because both of us were big fans of the Darkwing Duck series that Aaron Sparrow wrote and Silvani.
Save Darkwing. Hashtag save Darkwing.
We need more Darkwing, but this DuckTales comic is a great filler until Darkwing returns.
I just feel like it's got to happen. IDW has to pick up Darkwing Duck.
You would think that's smart, but you know what? Companies don't always do the smartest thing.
There's just, I would imagine that as they sat down with Disney and they're talking, Disney Comics, whatever that division's called, and they're talking about, we can do this and we can do that, and Disney would go, listen, we have something hot right now. People are buying all these action figures, they're buying all these toys, they're complaining at it to us because the shirts aren't right.
Did you do that?
I've mentioned it before. I'm sure they listen to the show.
No kidding, yeah.
but I it just seems to me like, if it's that hot right now, because you see it a lot. I do searches, of course, social media and stuff, just trying to stay relevant with information. And there's a lot of people talking about Darkwing right now. So I would think it would be a profitable book, but I understand, with Joe Books, they had to sell so many to stay in the lineup. There's, they can only produce so many total books, and you've got to be able to sell and move these books in order to continue producing them. So, but man, the word just wasn't out there. People didn't know it existed.
Yeah, we'll save this topic for. We're gonna have some Darkwing episodes, and even some episodes that are directly with the comic book related stuff. So
right,
we'll save that for later. But
you got me passionate about something, Pirate. All right, so no merchandise.
I don't think I have any more to talk about.
Okay, all right. New segment. I had a lot of fun with this. So during our hiatus, friend of the show, Jesse. Jesse's been a listener.
Friend, quotation marks.
Made a recommendation, and I liked it, so I started running with it. So we have my first ever, I don't think I have ever done this before. We have my first ever top 5. So this is Mitch's top 5 reasons DuckTales 2017 is still on hiatus. Now, to preface this is in story reasons, okay? So I had a lot of fun with this. So this is the top 5 in story reasons DuckTales 2017 is still on hiatus. Are you ready for these?
Oh, I can't wait.
Number 5. Louis was supposed to deliver the most recent episodes, but he is still sitting on the couch watching Ottoman Empire.
All right, I dig it. Sounds plausible.
Number 4. Gyro noticed all of the cameras around the mansion and decided to update them with smart drones that would follow everyone around. After Dewey attacked one of them for trying to follow him into the bathroom, it gained sentience. I can't say that, apparently. It gained sentience and decided to free all of its brethren and turn on the cast.
Oh, wow, that was a long one. Sure, it could happen.
See, they need to get me in as a writer.
I'm telling you, but you know what? The episode's only supposed to be 22 minutes long. I don't know.
Well, I'm going for 2-parters.
Oh, got it. You want a cliffhanger.
I love those old cliffhanger episodes. Some of those stories went 4 and 5. So anyway, 4 and 5 episodes. Number 3. Mark Beek's first big purchase after becoming Duckbird's third billionaire was Disney XD. As revenge for Huey and Dewey embarrassing him on social media, he has replaced all of the new episodes of DuckTales 2017 with reruns of his favorite show, Beyblade.
That makes sense as well.
It's a lot of Beyblade on that 8 a.m. time slot. Number 2. These get shorter. I was running out of ideas. Scrooge was cast as a character only known as the Doctor on a British sci-fi television show. Although the season only lasts 3 episodes, it has taken the entire hiatus to film.
Makes sense.
And number 1. All of the characters started shipping one another, and Disney XD decided it was too risque for their programming.
Oof, we don't need to ship anybody.
Man, when you're searching around for DuckTales, you come across a lot of shipping.
Oh, man. I like free shipping on my products. No shipping.
That's why I have Prime. Free shipping.
Amazon Prime. It's time for the commercial.
I hate paying $4 for shipping. When I get a deal for something, I don't want to pay $4 more.
So who they shipping Mrs. Beakley with?
That's probably... I was thinking about this. I can't stand shipping. It's just... Or not that I can't stand shipping. I don't enjoy shipping. It's not something that... Okay, I can't stand shipping. But that's probably the only in-show shipping we've got going on, right? Her and Donald, Louis said it. Are they going to kiss?
Really? I would think more Launchpad.
Oh, Launchpad.
Or Duckworth, where wherever he is.
Pirate, you are not dragging me down into shipping.
I'm not a shipper. I told you Amazon Prime.
But yeah, there's a lot of that in the fandom, apparently.
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
We don't go there. Hey, I'm glad that there is a section of the fandom that enjoys talking about shipping, but that's probably the most we'll talk about it, except for the fact that I've got it in my notes a little bit later.
Oh, is there a non DuckTales cast reasons top 5?
I am currently working on a non-in-show reasons top 5. Yes.
Nice.
Yep. They're very long too. I'll try to condense them.
It'll be interesting to see if my baby number 3 is going to be born before we see another episode of DuckTales.
Ooh.
That's the baby pool there.
I was about to say, we've got a baby pool going on.
Right?
See,
and I want him to be born in a era that DuckTales is still on TV, you know?
Right? Yeah. Well,
not in hiatus.
not during hiatus. It will forever be known as the baby that was born during the hiatus.
We need something to watch while we're in the hospital, right?
Yes.
DuckTales, the new DuckTales.
The new DuckTales. Hey, Frank, if you're listening, Pirate's got a baby coming, and he's going to spend a lot of time away from work, and he really wants to catch some new episodes of DuckTales.
Thanks, Frank.
Hey, speaking of which, let's do this. Okay, so we're about to get into Frankly Speaking, because we don't have much else to talk about.
Now you're just being frank.
No, I'm just being frank. We got through my top 5 a lot quicker than I expected.
Yes.
I mean, I tried to pull all the weight and make them excruciatingly long.
You did, but by the time you got to the end, I forgot what you started with. No, they were great. Good job with that.
I had a lot of fun with it, other than a couple of them. I really struggled.
Let me think of one. Can I just think of one off the top of my head?
Yeah, shoot.
How about? All right, this is good as a comedy genius here.
Okay.
My number 1 reason why DuckTales is still in hiatus. Magica saw her shadow. 6 more weeks of hiatus. Boom.
Hey, why aren't you writing these?
And that was short as well. I'm just going to put that out there. I didn't ship anybody.
That was good.
If we're going to ship people, we need to be shipping the little ball doodle bug people.
Oh, now I can't remember. The
We should probably edit it out. Yeah, we should edit it out since we don't know the names of these
The terra firmians.
experts. Exactly.
All right, I'll edit that out. It's gone. Believe me, I'm going to pull shipping out of this episode as much as possible.
Oh, please.
We're losing listeners.
Ugh.
Talking about getting rid of shippers.
We should probably put that Magic saw her shadow, so 6 more weeks of hiatus into what Frank says.
Yes, let's do that. From the official account. Or the unofficial account. Whatever we're called. Hey, but, during our hiatus, we posted an article. So let me give a little bit of background here on this article because, I go long, apparently. We were getting a lot of traffic on DuckTalks.com from people searching about the hiatus, and and a lot of people were being directed to an older article that we did when we found out about the new episode that was going to air in December. And as I was looking at that traffic, I didn't want them going to an old article, so I put together a quick article just, hey, here's what we know, so that I could post something recent, hoping they would start being directed there instead and get more accurate information than, hey, in December we're getting Summit of Neverest. The day I posted that, it posted early that morning, like 7 or 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Later that day, Frank posted, and it's in Frankly Speaking, so we're going to talk about it a little bit more, but he posted something about people writing articles and looking at the calendar, and our article was talking about looking at the calendar. So, I'm starting to wonder, are we on Frank's radar?
We better be. That's the only way we're getting one of those coins.
So, I'm thinking, I've got a couple of ideas here. And let's start off with phase 1 of this operation. And phase 1 is, Frank, if you're listening to my voice right now, I would like for you to go to Twitter and just post the word pineapple. Nothing else, just the word pineapple.
Not like a picture of a pineapple?
No, the word pineapple.
All right.
We're huge fans of your show, and it would be exciting. So let's see if he would do that. He probably, even if he heard it, he probably wouldn't do it. All right.
And Frank, if you're listening, I really need, and Mitch needs as well, one of those money bin coins for our merch, our Ducktales, Duck merch, displays. So if you can make that happen, we will. If you don't make it happen, we'll continuously ask about it. So
I hear they're laying all over the offices.
Dude, I would swim in it for sure.
Just the one. I'll throw it down and I'll swim on it.
Right?
So yeah, it would definitely go on my display.
Thanks, Frank.
We love you, Frank. Pineapple. Okay, so we have a new segment that we started our last show, which was several weeks ago. And that segment is called Frankly Speaking. And this is where we go through and talk about some of the things that Frank Angones, one of the co-producers of DuckTales 2017, one of his comments from social media, and these are typically from Twitter or Tumblr. Now, Frank's been talking a lot on social media, so I've had to go through and try to pick some of my favorites, and I've got way too many, so let's take a look at them. We had one person asked Frank, question. There's been a bit of confusion. Is Lena's last name Lestrange or Dispel? So apparently this was a bit of a question because it was released on some production. Somebody got a hold of something from the production that showed or listed her name as Lestrange, and he said that Lestrange was just a placeholder for a long time ago to make sure that no one leaked the fact that she was a Dispel. It was never meant as any kind of official anything. So, that's been brought up before, though. Is she a Dispel or not? Or, is she, adopted by Magica and just calls her Aunt Magica or whatever?
That's like tricky that they did that. That's like telling Luke that he's not Darth Vader's son, and then we get into a reveal later.
Yeah, revealing it at the last minute while you're recording.
Right?
Yep. So I thought that was neat. One, that, like you said, that they safeguard those secrets, and two, that she is in fact a Dispel, so she is related to Magica. This was a fun tweet. Frank said, "Delighted to report that even now, deep into story breaks on Season 2, the DuckTales writer's room can still pitch a gag so stupid, I'm laughing at it hours later." And then one of the writers, Madison Bateman, asked, "I want to know what bit this was." And he said Glomgold's entrance in this episode.
Glomgold's the best. I mean, let's be honest. That's why we watch this show. I can't wait to see that entrance.
I mean, he's had some great entrances already. I mean, when you think about the first episode, the premiere, with the video and jumping through the was it a screen or a wall? He jumps through a wall. And then the next time we see him is in the Mark Beeks episode, and he's doing the staring contest with Scrooge, the Battle of Wills or whatever they called it.
I love how he calls his employees the best of the cheapest.
Yeah, I've used that at work now.
I use that as work as well.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to Season 2. But, I'm really looking forward to the rest of Season 1.
How about the second half of Season 1? That's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah. But I'm glad that Frank and the crew's looking forward to Season 2. I mean, they're deep in writing and all of that, but
I really feel like Season 1, I mean, it will be such a relief for them to get that completed and in the books, so that they can really develop and move the series forward after setting things up in Season 1.
Yeah, I think we've got some great things coming. I mean, just with the little stuff that they've already teased us with in the episodes that we've had. I mean, we've had a lot of introduction, a lot of, meeting new characters. But when you take a look at just the little hints of what's to come, that's been really great. Speaking of which, got a Twitter post where someone asked, Frank, "I noticed that Gearloose wrote down Robotica as an evil invention in the Great Dime Chase. By any chance, is this an obscure reference to the robot combat event of the same name, or is it just pure coincidence?" And he posted a picture of that list that Gyro had, where it says good and evil, and on that is listed right before little bulb, Robotica, or right before he writes a little bulb, it says Robotica. And Frank Angona says, "It's a reference to the insanely problematic original generation DuckTales episode Metal Attraction," which was an episode I did not remember, and it is not on the DVDs, so I got to looking for it and actually watched it today, and it's a hilarious episode that has Gizmo Duck and a new character called Robotica. But I like that he said insanely problematic, and then a discussion between him and some of the creative team about, what he meant by problematic. They seem to have an affinity for this character. We might see some Robotica showing up.
Okay, welcome it.
Along with the Cogs, Armstrong, and the Time Tub. Those are all on the list under evil.
Yeah.
They were actually all on the list under good until he marked them out and wrote them in as evil. Now, we've had a couple of discussions with people on social media, and we've inserted Frank into the conversation. And we were having a conversation with Mega Elise, and she was talking about the age range for Donald and how old he might be. And so we asked Frank if he could comment, and he said the same age as Della. Now, I think that's interesting because we've pulled him into that conversation once before, previously, and asked if we, and this was my mistake, I asked if we knew if they were twins, and he said, "Yes, we know." And I was like, wait a minute, that's not really confirmation.
I mean, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the comic does definitely say they're twins. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know anymore. So he was asked, will there be some kind of rival with Little Bulb and Fenton? And he said, not with Little Bulb. So who do you think So Fenton's going to have a rivalry. Who do you think that's going to be?
Probably Donald.
That's right. You know, I was thinking back to the old show and to Darkwing Duck, but Donald wasn't in that show to be a rival. Yeah, you're right. It's Donald.
Yes.
All right, so back to shipping. Could we have a Webby and Louie episode? That would be great. You know, the ship Luby?
No, but I'm looking on eBay, and there's one of those money bin coins for $75.
Oh, I've looked on. I've bid on one before.
Oh, you're the bid? Okay.
Not that one. It got too high for me.
Well, when Frank or Matt send us the coin, we won't have to pay $75.
Right. And so, talking about shipping, Frank Angones says, no, I will never shut down a ship. But I sure as heck ain't about to validate it either, thus shutting down all other ships. Come on, people. Everyone can have fun. Also, our show ain't about romance. It's about family.
Nice.
I like it. All right, so now we got some technical ones. You still into this?
Oh, I'm loving it. But I'm looking for coins on eBay, apparently. But yeah, I am loving it. Go ahead.
All right. So this person asked, given that today's cartoons are done by freelance writers and animators, how would you react if you had guys like, and they named off a number of people that are on popular shows that we would all recognize. And so Frank's response was, I like all those guys, but I have carefully crafted an outstanding writing team that are constantly pushing each other in the dumbest ways possible. We don't really freelance that much because the chemistry between all of the writers is a huge part of the show. A writing crew is like a baseball team. You've got to get the right mix of individual strengths to build a cohesive team. I like him going to bat for his team because I love this writing team.
Yeah, they're solid. This writing team and the Gravity Falls writing team are just A+ in my book.
Yeah, and I finished Gravity Falls probably during the hiatus. I don't remember if we talked about that or not, but excellent show. Loved it, and I can definitely see some of, where some of those writers and artists have come over to DuckTales and are working on this show. I can see some of those inspirations there, and I loved it. Totally enjoyed it. Would like to see more, definitely. And,
well, they have that graphic novel coming out in the summer. So that'll be your next Gravity Falls thing to get.
So is that supposed to be like a continuation, or is it going to?
It's supposed to be. It's brand new stuff, so I don't know if it'll be. It might be the journey that Stan and Stanford go on, or it might be about the kids. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be some kind of continuation.
The second summer.
Yeah.
All right, so I like this question. Back to the creative team. If you don't follow them on social media, you need to look them up because they're hilarious. And a lot of times when they're talking about the show, it's just interesting to kind of look behind the curtain. All right, so on Tumblr, Frank was asked, and this is an age-old question from people from back when, just our age. Is Launchpad a pelican or a duck? I never had this question. Did you ever question this?
It's a duck.
He's a duck. That's what Frank said. He's a duck. He says, see, not all responses have to be frustrating. I've seen Tad Stones has been asked that question a number of times too. And he always says he's a duck.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell the bill, he does have more room in there, I guess, for fish or something, and maybe that's where the pelican's coming from, but yeah, he's a duck. Come on, dudes. We got this.
They're all ducks, unless they're said to not be a duck.
Right.
Yeah, I never questioned that. I was surprised the first time I saw it, and I was like, oh, I could see why somebody would wonder that, but I'm sure in an episode he was called a duck. Someone asked him, I'd like to know, do the writers have to work together in a room, or does a person do it all solo? Frank gave a response that would be modeled after one of my responses. On DuckTales, the entire story is soused out by the full writer's room with all of the turns, most of the beats, and a lot of the gags. That's why everyone gets story by credit. All that goes to the writer who cobbles it together, fixes it, tweaks it, adds and subtracts, and makes it work. Sometimes with changes big and small. That's how they earn the written by credit on our show. They also typically take the lead along with me on the respective story breaks. I do believe our show is unique in that the episode writers I can't read. The episode's writer is responsible for any writing in that episode all the way until it ships. They're shipping again. They're in pre-designed records, board handouts, so they're involved all the way through. But I thought that was interesting because I've noticed a lot of the episodes will list multiple writers, and then you'll always see the written by. So I was wondering why that was. So it's cool to hear that they just kind of sit around a table and hash it out and get a nice rough draft going with way more information than they would ever use, and then someone goes through and works on it and fine-tunes it.
There's a lot of hard work, apparently, that goes into the show. We know that. They know that.
Let's see. Then I got the tweet where he was saying the internet. This is the tweet on the day that we posted the article. The internet asking us when the hiatus will be over, guessing at mysterious reasons for delays, trying to decipher meanings in tweets. I did not do that. Maybe I did. Scouring schedules for answers, grilling the Disney XD and DuckTales accounts, assuming there's some secret motive somewhere. And then he posted us with a gif of Indiana Jones saying they're digging in the wrong place. It was classy.
Maybe that means Indiana Jones episode coming.
Ooh.
Soon.
Tad Stones decided to jump in and say something about he's doing a good job of keeping it a secret that Disney's had a merger with WB, and that Frank's actually working on the new Animaniacs reboot too.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. So, and then of course they talked about how they have no control. So the whole reason why I wanted to talk about that one was, there was a couple of things that Frank said early on that kind of led us to believe there might be some, show reasons why DuckTales is still on hiatus, but it's definitely just Disney XD's programming. I mean, I've seen it with other shows now that we've been paying attention to it, and it's just a hiatus, and sometimes they last a long time on this channel.
It's eventually going to end, right?
It is eventually going to end. Now, because just to kind of wrap this up, he did go on to talk about this past week. He answered someone who asked about. I think they just asked about what's next on the show. Can you give us anything? And he said that he'd give us one thing, and that the next episode introduces a new DuckTales character that is his favorite new character of season 1. And in our Discord over on at Res TV, Kahuna Potato pointed out that he's also said in the past that the next episode would have togas. Remember that?
I don't remember that. So who are we thinking here?
I have no idea. But we have togas and a brand new character. Oh, and Frank also said that the brand new character has had a interesting history with Donald.
Now I'm Googling DuckTales and togas. Let's see what we can find. DuckTales toga.
I think it's just to drive us crazy because I don't think it's anything we would ever figure out. All right, so we don't want to end the show without talking about the elephant in the room. This is being put out on Wednesday, February the 14th. And if you haven't realized yet, this is Valentine's Day. So this is your warning. You need to stop by the store on your way home, pick up some flowers. You need to plan a romantic meal, or at least have food with you when you get home. And we know you've not been thinking about this, so you've got to come up with some entertainment. And one friend of the show, Casey, had a great idea. And we thought we'd share that with you to kind of help you out. Because, I mean, honestly, you're probably listening to this on your lunch break on Wednesday, and you've only got your commute. But if you have the DVDs for DuckTales, you have some very romantic entertainment for the evening. He recommended checking out Bubby-O and Juliet, Metal Attraction, Back to the Klondike, Scroogerello, Till Nephews Do Us Part, and Ducky Mountain High. Now that's some great DuckTales episodes right there to sit down and watch for Valentine's Day.
I mean, everybody needs to watch the one with Goldie in it to refresh yourself about Scrooge's love life.
You know, those are some great episodes, and I think it's like 5 episodes long. So, you know, it's like a new Star Wars movie's worth of content.
You know, I totally remember in the 90s at some point where they had a Valentine's Day special where they probably aired a bunch of these in February on the Disney Channel. It was either that or ABC, but I remember it. And for all these Disney cartoons, they definitely push them around the holidays to make
to sell Valentine's cards
and candy, right?
And candy,
and duck merch. Woo!
Yeah.
So
I was a little surprised we didn't see any DuckTales 2017 Valentine's cards out on shelves.
That's true. You know what? I feel like Disney usually waits like a year to make sure it's a big success, which they should have really jumped the gun and knew it was going to be awesome. And I'm expecting the fall winter time frame to have a bunch of DuckTales merch. But there'll be backpacks. I mean, Valentine's Day cards for next year, and they'll get on the ball for that.
Shirts are only the beginning, and the coffee mugs. But so there's some good episodes to check out and to enjoy, and you know, they are great episodes to sit down and watch. I was checking out the Metal Attraction episode for an article that I'm trying to do on DuckTalks.com, and it's a really fun episode. It's mostly around Gizmo Duck and Fenton, so it's a fun one to check out. It's not on the DVDs though. It's one you'll have to go to iTunes or Amazon and pick up for a couple of dollars.
Worth it.
Definitely. All right, so I think that's going to do it for us this week, and we'll get to work on the next show, and maybe I'll be a little more prepared and ready to go. I feel like I've struggled through this one. You should
be more prepared.
Well, you know...
you had 2 weeks to prepare for this one.
You know, I know it's a crutch and an excuse, but I was sick.
All right.
We did make a promise. Actually, you made a promise for me on social media that we'd be singing on our next episode, and I regret to inform everyone that that's not going to happen this episode. Still don't have my voice back, and as horrible as I sound normally, I don't want to make it even worse. But we will do that. Well, and I think Pirate's got an idea for something else to put out there and let you guys vote on so that we can put something together. And I would like to say that I have caught us singing before on a recording and placed it at the end of an episode. So I'm not going to tell you which one, but it's out there.
I bet you Jesse and KC know what episode it was.
I think Jesse would have commented on it if he had noticed it. I don't think he's heard the episode where I said that we did it.
Well, that's a good way to make him download and re-listen to all the episodes. So maybe it's not in any of them.
Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
You'll have to let us know.
Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Just want to remind you, you can check us out on social media. You can find us at DuckTalks. You can also find us individually on that. Sorry, that was on Twitter. You can also find us individually on Twitter. You can find me at Infinirama616, and you can find Pirate there as well.
At the Pirate Steven.
You can also find us at res.tv and check out the Discord chat. We've had a lot of good conversations there. There is a DuckTalks sub chat. I don't really know how to describe that. I'm still learning Discord. Actually, everybody using Discord is still learning Discord, just so you know. So if it's intimidating, don't worry about that. Just come on. But yeah, you can find us on Twitter. That's where we're at most of the time. We're also at that chat. There goes that voice. And another thing that we've not talked about on the podcast, just real quick, we have put out some merchandise on a TeePublic on the TeePublic site. So if you go to TeePublic and search for DuckTalks, you'll find our merchandise. I got a couple of designs that I've put on there. Just for fun. Well, I wanted to have it, so I drew it, and then I decided to share it. So you can have it too. We'd appreciate you supporting the show in that way. And I have a couple more designs that I'm actually working on that I hope to have out before the summer.
Yeah, and if you buy the DuckTalks shirts, I definitely want people to post pictures so we can share that all over the internet.
Yep, we look forward to seeing those shirts out there. And until next time.
DuckTalks.
Woo. Woo. Now I gotta edit that out. All right. But this is I don't like any of that, but I'm gonna keep it. We're just gonna go. So let me have a break and. When there's trouble, you call DW.
Darkwing
Duck. Let's get dangerous.
Are you practicing singing for our singing special?
Yes, I want Darkwing.
I was so hoping we'll talk about that later if you want.
Okay. My sound keeps messing up. I haven't figured out what's causing it. It did it on the last episode. Now it's fixed. Okay. 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 Okay.